Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind.
What does it ask?
I'm trying out a new mic position today. Hopefully it sounds a little better, maybe? We'll see. It's also pretty hot, so I hope you don't mind me wearing a tank top. Let's see, last time we were just about to talk to Mr. Hulea to see what he has to say for us.
Ours is to ask, what does this visitor want?
Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevarine cult, so you can report back to Caius. And I don't know of any 6th house cult, but I can tell you what I know. Alright, tell us about the Nerevarine cult. To understand the Nerevarine cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the False Incarnate, for the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dunmer. Here is a summary for Caius, but ask your questions and I'll answer in detail. Tell us about the history of the Ashlanders. In the first era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dunmer clans were much alike, but after the First Council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. Now the nomadic tribes look to the prophesied return of Nerevar for a restoration of their ancient rites and religious traditions. Okay. Who are the Ashlanders? The Ashlanders hate the House Dunmer, who have become soft and who have abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the gods of the Tribunal. And the Ashlanders hate Outlanders, who invaded and stole their land and forced them to live as a subject people. A reborn Nerevar who could drive out the Outlander invaders, destroy the false worship of the Tribunal, and restore the pure traditional life and faith of the nomads would be a very popular hero to the Ashlanders. Okay. What are the Great Houses? In modern times, Morrowind is ruled by 5 great houses. House Hlalu, House Redoran, House Telvanni, House Indoril, and House Dress. Great House's culture is partly defined by its roots in ancient Dunmer tribunal clans, and partly by later imperial influences from other Western cultures. The Great House's culture is only one of the native Dunmer cultures of Morrowind. The other native culture, and the Ashlander culture, is a nomadic barbarian culture largely untouched by imperial influences. Okay, what about the persecution of the Nerevarine? The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecy as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics, unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the Ordinators, for their ruthless treatment of Nerevarine cultists. Interesting. What about the False Incarnate? In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend among the Waste tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail and come to nothing. But the mystical Nerevarine cult glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions, citing the appearance of failed incarnates as certain proof of the Nerevar's coming rebirth. How does that make sense? Whatever. Okay. What about the 6th house cult? I've never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the 6th house, but in the War of the First Council they betrayed the other great houses, and were destroyed for their treason. But I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth-Ur, the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith, but I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. All right. Oh, we didn't read the mission to Vivec. Let's do that really quick. In Vivec, look for these 3 persons and get them to tell you what they know about the Nerevarine cult and the 6th House cult. Each owes me a favor and each should be willing to cooperate. This was written by Caius, by the way. This is our mission. Adoranor is a Khajiit and a Thieves Guild operative. She won't be easy to find, but ask around in St. Olm's Canton. Folks are easily offended in St. Olm's. Be careful what you say. A little courtesy, a little coin, a little favor in the right place will get you in touch with her. Hulea is an Argonian and a Morangtong assassin. Look for him in the foreign quarter at the Black Shock Corner Club. He's known around Vivec City as a lover of books and old things. That's the guy we just were talking to. Mayra Milo is a temple priestess who works in the libraries at the Hall of Wisdom and Justice. The Hall of Wisdom and Justice is open to the public. Just walk around until you find her. Do not ask anyone at the Hall of Wisdom and Justice about Mayra Milo. I don't want to draw attention to the fact that she is talking to an Outlander. Mayra Milo is a particular friend and I don't want her to get in trouble. When you've spoken with each of these persons and you've gotten the information they can give you, return and report to me. Okay, that was useful. So we're not supposed to ask about the Milo person. What about notes from this Argonian guy? The history of the Ashlanders and the Nerevarine cult. In the First Era, barbaric Dunmer culture settled Dunmer clans, the Great Houses, and nomadic Dunmer tribes, like the Ashlanders, were roughly equal in numbers and wealth. Under the civilized peace of the Grand Council and with strong central authority of the Temple, the economic and military power of the settled Dunmer quickly outstripped that of the nomadic Dunmer. The nomadic Dunmer were marginalized into the poorest, most hostile land, in particular into the Vardenfell wastes. For the Ashlanders, the return of the reincarnated Nerevar represents a longed-for and largely romanticized golden age of Nerevar's peace, when the nomadic tribes enjoyed equality with the settled Dunmer, and before the Dunmer people had for the most part abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the autocratic theocracy of the Tribunal Temple. The Nerevar of the Ashlanders. This is the story of the Nerevar as an Ashlander might tell it. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of Outlanders from the west came to steal the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the House people, but he honored the ancient spirits and tribal law, and became as one of us. So when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under moon and star, to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the House people to fight a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer tribesmen and housemen died at Red Mountain, the Dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the Outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, and, setting themselves up as gods, neglected Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But it is said that Nerevar will come again with his ring and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises to the tribes, to honor the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. Persecution of the Nerevarine cult. The Tribunal Temple regards the mysticism and prophecy of the Nerevarine cult as primitive superstition. The Ashlander ancestor cults, and the Nerevarine in particular, have always decried the worship of living Dunmer as abominations, suspecting the unnatural lifetimes of the Tribunal to be signs of profane sorcery or necromancy. Though the authoritarian and intolerant temple priesthood has always been inclined to tolerate Ashlander ancestor cult practices, they have always threatened Nerevarine claimants with death or imprisonment. And while generally tolerant to various cult worships, the Imperial Commission of the Occupation outlaws cults hostile to the Emperor and Empire, and threatens members of such cults with imprisonment or death. The Ordinators are allowed a free hand when dealing with outlawed cults like the Nerevarine. Peakstar and other incarnates in the past. In the past, others have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar of prophecy. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a mysterious figure who has reportedly appeared and disappeared among the waste tribes over the last 30 years. The temple notes that these false incarnates discredit the Nerevarine prophecies. Singularly and illogically, the Ashlanders acknowledge a history of false claimants, calling them failed incarnates, but regard them as proof of the validity of the prophecies rather than contradiction. Among the Nerevarine, there is a fable of a cavern of the incarnates, where the spirits of the failed incarnates dwell. The Nerevarine cult is a mystical cult, and it glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions. Interesting. So, we gotta go find somebody else now. Let's see. Vivec Informants. St. Olms. So the Khajiit is in St. Olms. And Mayra Milo, a temple priestess at the Hall of Wisdom in the temple compound. Okay. We need to find our way back out into Vivec, I think. Vivec is pretty large, so we might be searching for a while. And I do not know my way around the city. That's a foreign quarter. Let's see. We can check those two buildings out, I guess. How do we get over there? There, wait. That goes up. This, can I get down from here? Yeah, this goes down. Or I don't think I want the canal works. Or do I? Maybe I do. This doesn't look too promising. Heck, how big is this? I don't want to go into any tombs. Doesn't sound good. Trader. Clothier. I could just jump down, right? I don't think the fall damage would be too big. If I can find my way back up. Okay, yeah, let's just jump down. Hopefully this won't kill us. Let's save really quick, just in case. Okay, no fall damage whatsoever. So Redoran, I don't think that's any of the places we want. We want the Hall of Wisdom and Justice and St. Olms, which I don't know where any of those are. What is that? Oh, it's just a sign. Walking around Vivec, have no idea where we are. What is this place? It's not telling me. Hlelu. Don't think we want that. Wandering around. See, this is the downside of doing like a complete play where I don't edit out anything. You get to see how much wandering around looking for things is. And there's a lot of it. Look at all the scenery. Looks pretty good. It's pretty good for an 18-year-old game. Or 16. Oh, at least we're getting athletics up. Running around all the time. Hello. Can you tell me where some of these places are? St. Olms Canton. Sivi Soren, I'm Nalimi Veleth. Don't worry, Vivec can be confusing for us, and we live here. Is there some specific place you want, or someone in particular you're trying to find? The St. Olms Canton, St. Delen Canton and St. Olms Canton are residence cantons for commoners and paupers. The temple charges very reasonable rents for comfortable workshops, shops, and apartments, and most of Ardenvel's crafts and light industry is housed in these cantons. The Abbey of St. Dalen the Wise is on the top tier of St. Dalen, and Hlelu Councillor Yingling Halftroll has a top-tier manor on St. Olms. Okay, but where is it? Vivec's cantons are buildings with many levels. The upper works are the rooftops with shops and rich folks' manors. The wasteworks are the next tier down, usually shops and guilds, with some apartments. Canal side is the lowest level, where poor folks live. The underworks are sewers below canal side. Only grubbers and cleaners go down there. The corridors are like mazes, so watch how you go. The temple built all the cantons and leases them to shops, guilds, and residents. We're no help. So I guess we go to this one. It's a dock. Where does that go? Goes down to a little boat. So that was Hlelu. This is Redoran. I think this is the largest city in Morrowind, the game, anyway. Sort of analogous to the Imperial City in Oblivion. Or Whiterun in Skyrim? I'm not actually sure which one's the biggest in Skyrim. Really, Whiterun is one of the biggest. St. Dalen. Okay, this is St. Dalen. Does that mean this is St. Olms? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay. Add their honor a Khajiit Thieves Guild operative in St. Olms. Okay. Be careful what you say. Okay. Do you know where this guy is? Yeah. I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Adder. Do you know where I can find her? I'm looking for that person. Yes, her name is Adder and she is a Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? I don't. I was hoping you could tell me. I see. Well, perhaps some other good citizen can tell me where to find her. I guess. Welcome to Vivec, Soren. I'm sure you have some questions. What would you like to know? Your Honor? Never heard of her. Nope, absolutely certain. Never heard the name before. Sounds a little too certain to me. We bribe you? Cannot purchase with honor with gold, assassin. Fine. Can't bribe you. Maybe the Ordinator wouldn't be good to ask. She's supposed to be a thief, right? Go about your business. I'm watching you. That sneak, she'll be here in St. Olms somewhere, but where? I don't know. Try someone else. Fishmonger's Hall. Welcome to Vivec, Soren. I'm what's her face? Tyrell Aralis. Are you looking for services in the Sacred City? Maybe I can help. She doesn't know. What do you want? Guess nothing. Where do you think they are? What's that? Raw glass. Pretty valuable. It's not bad when you know your way around, Soren. What are you looking for? He doesn't know either. Do you have glass armor? I think glass armor is one of the top tier light armors, which is what we wear. They all just say the same thing. Now, Kai's told me to persuade and bribe. I get around you. But none of my skills in that area really work. Nope, you don't know. I'll say the same thing. Isn't there? Yeah, this lady. That Khajiit sneak? What do you want with her? Hiding from the census and excise agent, I'll bet. She sounds like she might know. Admire? Well, she hates me now. They gotta be in here somewhere, right? Probably not down here. Oh, okay. A census and excise agent has been prowling the canton, blah, and this agent, whose name is Duvius Platorius, has been showing an interest in Adranor. My guess is that while this census and excise agent is making his appearance, Adranor will be hiding in the underworks. Swims pretty good for a kitty. Get her inspiration from the census and excise, I reckon. Look for trapdoors down the canal works level. Journal has been updated. Gotta go to the underworks. Okay, so I'm guessing we get to the underworks from the canal works, which is where we are right now. Store. Oh, that's not who we want. Trade? Jadonner has no trade. Jadonner has the sugar. What does Jadonner need with trade? Just go away and leave Jadonner alone. He's hooked on the moon sugar. Here we go. Okay, this looks like we might find enemies in here. Down in the sewers. There's a rat. I almost didn't see him. I don't think we really want the rat meat. There's a person over there. Doesn't look like a Khajiit though. We are running short on time. I'm hoping... Oh, she's hostile. Why are you killing me? Oh, she is... Oh boy. I saved. Okay, so we know she is hostile. We also know there's a rat right here. See if we can hit her from all the way over here. Got her. Man, what the heck? Oh my goodness. I think I'm out of health potions. God. Okay. This is tricky. Tricky business. I don't know how to kill this lady. Maybe we can't. Why is she hostile? Let me try to talk to her again. She's not hostile. Okay. Oh, wait, she is. What? Maybe we have to sneak past her. Let's do that. Just gonna avoid her for now. She is too powerful. We're also just about up in time here. I might have to end the episode soon. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, thank you for watching. In the next episode, we'll continue our search for this mysterious Khajiit person. See you in the next episode.